Alright guys, so welcome to the video. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. I'm going to make this as informative as I can. So, if you guys are here, that probably means that you want to know how to make some cool cinematic shots. Checking my audio sound. Alright, cool. You guys want to know how to make some cool cinematic shots. If you go to part 1, which I'm going to put below, that basically goes over the basics, the bare minimum basics of effects and coloring and everything. I suggest you check that out because what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to show you guys how to take 3 distinct types of shots, which I'll go over in a second. And these are like the utmost basic things that you can tweak however much you want and make it your own style out of. But I'm going to show you how to take shots with just your hand, and by using that effect that I talked about in the last video called warp stabilizer and practice and a steady hand, you can make shots that look pretty damn good. So without further ado guys, let's just get right into it. Alright guys, so in this shot I'm going to show you with this as my prop what the most basic pan looks like. So what we're doing right here is this water bottle right here is going to act as the sort of center or the focus of the pan. Like it's the, whether it be a structure or whatever you're focusing on, there has to be some sort of focal point that the viewer is going to see and notice the most. So we're just going to make this water bottle that focal point. And for all the shots that we're going to take guys, I'm using the Nikon D3300 because even though I have the Nikon D80 right here, I'm not actually shooting with this, I'm just using it as a prop. So guys, my favorite thing to do with this is basically start from either side of the object and basically pan the image into it, and then to sort of really emphasize it by going slow. So to do this with a handheld camera and make it as steady as possible is you want to basically start the image off to the side like this, and I'm going to show you right now. You're going to pan it around like this, and you move your body with it. As such, you basically twist your body with the camera and it makes it as stable as you can get it. I'm going to show you the raw image right now. And as you can see, it's not the most stable thing ever, but with warp stabilizer, it'll look like this. And boom guys, as you can see, just with warp stabilizer, this image went from 0 to 100 real fast. This kind of pan shot can literally be used on anything. It is one of the most versatile shots ever. I use it all the time, and you guys will see me using it all the time. So with that one shot, you can already do a ton. So the next shot I'm going to show you is called the pan zoom, or at least I call it the pan zoom. I don't know if it's called something else by someone else, but I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. Alright guys, so the pan zoom is a little bit more complicated. It's literally as it sounds. It's where you pan the shot and you zoom while panning it. But the only thing is, it's a little bit more difficult to do. It takes a little bit of practice because it takes a really steady hand. Even with warp stabilizer, if you're not zooming it at the correct speed, it'll look awkward. Now, if you know how to use keyframes in Adobe Premiere Pro, which is a little bit more advanced, then you can do this effect without ever having to use a manual zoom. I'm going to teach you guys how to do it with a manual zoom. And if you look up how to do, like how to basically control motion with Adobe Premiere Pro, you can do it there. The only thing is you lose pixels when you do it through effects. By manually zooming in the lens, you don't lose any pixels, so it still looks 1080p, which is awesome. Without further ado guys, I would start the pan just like this, but like, let's say I want to zoom into the image as I'm going in. I would basically hold the ring, the zoom ring like this, and as I'm panning it, I'm also turning my elbow up like this, so I'm doing this. Oftentimes it can take a few tries if you're not good at it. It definitely took me a few tries to get good at it. It's something that I developed on my own. I don't know if people do this often, but I thought that this was a really, really nice thing to be able to do, because if you can do it well and you get good at it, you can take really awesome shots that start at one like zoom and they just go right into the subject. So I can start with this wide angle and I can end up with being right on the subject that I want to show to my viewers. So what it looks like raw, I'm going to show you right now. And now with warp stabilizer, this is what it looks like. pretty sweet, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love it. And remember, for all of these, I'm just using warp stabilizer as my only effect. That's all I'm using. If you use, you can have so much fun with effects. If you guys really want, I can go to more advanced effects later. But with more effects, you can just make it look more awesome. So let's go into the last shot in a second. Alright guys, so for the last kind of shot that I want to show you, it's very simple. It's basically like, I don't know what you would call this shot. The pan is very obvious. The pan zoom has a very obvious name. But this is the kind of shot where basically you start at one point and you basically move the camera physically. Normally you would need, if you want a steady shot without having to worry about any like shakiness at all, you would need something like a gimbal or like a slide, something like that, where it's completely stable and you don't have to worry about it. But you can still do this handheld as long as you have a steady hand and use Adobe Premiere Pro's warp stabilizer afterwards. It's very easy, guys. This is not something that I think I should have to explain, but start the camera at point A and move your body with it. These are just tips that I think will make it more stable, so warp stabilizer doesn't look weird. Warp stabilizer doesn't look weird. But basically move your body along the shot. This kind of shot is really awesome if you're showing off terrain. So for instance, I really love this shot if I'm in a field or something like that and I find this really cool patch of ground that I feel like contains a lot on it, but I don't want to show it all at once. I don't feel like there's one single subject. I want to basically move across the terrain, and as I'm moving across the terrain, all these new subjects are coming in and out of the field of vision, which I think is an awesome effect. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like raw right now. And now guys, I'm going to show you what that looks like with the warp stabilizer. So guys, pretty dope, I'm not going to lie. With those three basic tips, those three basic movements, you can make your own style so easily. Literally, I showed you guys how to go side to side, showed you how to go through the terrain, and I showed you guys how to basically, as you're going side to side, zoom in. That's such power, like having that ability to do those three basic movements. It's incredible power to making better edits and better cinematics, guys. And also, you'll discover with time you're going to create your own style, things are going to fall in place for you. So just take these tips, apply them to yourself, and you'll see that you're going to have your own basically film style with almost no time. So guys, I really appreciate you checking out the video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I did my best to be as informative as possible. A lot of this stuff is not as hard as it seems. A lot of people think that this is rocket science, but it's not. It just has to do with your own creativity. If you're creative enough to come up with, basically the means to make the shots you have to make with low budget equipment, then you can do it. You can always do it. It's just that with better equipment like gimbals, slides, whatnot, you can do things easier. But like I said, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. It really means a lot to me. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe if you like the video. Leave me some feedback. Without further ado, guys, I think we're going to end it right here because who wants to keep listening to me ramble? Peace, guys.